Celebrities accused of being too skinny Part 2. Hey, I'm your host Bridget Shields and let's get right into the video. Number 10. Chrystal Renn. The plus-size model seemed to stir up controversy and criticism online when she went from a size 14 to a size 8. Quote, "I think that by placing a title on my head, which is plus size, and then the picture that these people have created in their mind about what plus size actually is, I've basically just failed you with that." The model told ABC News that because she couldn't possibly live up to that, and that at this point she says she would actually have to have another eating disorder to live up to that expectation. Renn first started modeling at only 16 years old, and as a result she struggled with in order to fit the mold of a sample model size, but she apparently still wasn't considered skinny enough in the industry and was almost out of work entirely. But Renn fought against it and eventually became an incredibly successful model at a size 10 to 14. But after dropping to a size 8, her agent Gary Deccan told her that she was now in between plus size and sample size. Although she faced criticism for being too thin, Deccan confirmed that the model is healthy and feels amazing. Number 9. Kelly Ripa. Live with Kelly and Ryan host is very used to people body shaming her and actually enjoys firing back at trolls. In an Instagram video of herself reading mean comments about her size, the actress said, quote, "I love trolling a troll, it is my favorite thing to do." This was all in response to one user complaining about the star wearing too much makeup, claiming that it made Ripa look like a wax figure. The host then made a joke that she actually wears more makeup than a wax figure, and she would know since there's a wax figure of her at Madame Tussauds. But most trolls attack Kelly's weight, with one user writing that they think her head looks too big for her tiny body. She then clapped back by telling them that 2 was misspelled. But unfortunately, she is all too familiar with the comments about her small frame. In fact, her husband, Mark Consuelos, even had to come to his wife's defense on Instagram in 2018 after several people would not stop criticizing the host for just being too skinny. Quote, "She works extremely hard in her professional life, and her commitment to exercise, healthy diet is admirable, and the benefits show." Gotta love that support from her husband, and that's really great to see. Number 8. Ariel Winter. When one person on Twitter pitted Ariel Winter against Ariana Grande, they were both labeled curves and sticks respectively. But the thing is that Ariel has also been on the receiving end of skinny shaming. The star of Modern Family shared a series of photos of herself on Instagram in January 2019, and she received a barrage of hate comments about her size, and people apparently weren't too happy with her new smaller figure. Fans flooded her comment section calling her too skinny now and saying that she has lost her butt. A lot of people also took a more passive-aggressive approach when criticizing the young star and saying, quote, "I'm so sorry you felt the need to dramatically change your appearance," even adding sarcastically that they hope Ariel is happy now with her appearance. But it didn't stop there. Many people also accused the actress of resorting to plastic surgery to achieve her new look and proceeded to call her a bad role model for other young women. But Ariel defended herself very well, saying, quote, "I appreciate you wanting to help girls love themselves the way they are, but you are also kind of cutting someone down, which isn't what I think you were trying to do." She then had to clarify that no, she didn't get plastic surgery, and reminded the same fan that their behavior wasn't an effective way to support women. Number 7. Gal Gadot. When the Israeli actress was first cast as Wonder Woman way back in 2015, the backlash she received online was swift, because many people believed that she was too underweight to play the DC Comics superhero. Gal was harshly criticized by superhero fans for being flat-chested, and ended up accepting that she was too skinny when she looked back at pictures of herself from 5 years ago. Weeks after the initial outcry, the now 37-year-old opened up for the first time on the body criticism that came with getting her breakout role. Speaking to Israeli television show Good Evening with Guy Pines, Gadot revealed, quote, "I represent the Wonder Woman of the new world." And when asked whether or not she would be gaining weight for the role, she said that she will only be gaining body mass and training very hard to build muscle. Then a few years later in an interview, she looked back on the pressure to conform to what fans' idea of Wonder Woman was supposed to be. Quote, "They said I was too skinny and my were too small. They said my head was too big and my body was like a broomstick. But she went on to say that when it comes to criticism, she can take anything because it's just empty talk, and that she understands that part of what she's doing means being exposed, and part of being exposed is being under fire. Number 6. Emma Stone. In a 2014 interview with 17, Emma hit back at body shamers who were way too comfortable commenting on her body and criticizing her for losing weight. Most of the fans that jumped aboard the hate train were accusing her of conforming to the pressures of Hollywood and basically calling her a sellout. But Emma brilliantly shut down criticism by explaining that her weight loss was actually just a result of age and very natural, and that it wasn't about meeting societal expectations. Quote, "I feel it can be really challenging in today's world for anyone, especially girls and women, to feel good about their bodies." She went on to say that no matter how things look from the outside, we can all be super critical of ourselves and our image in the mirror, and that she's actually seen all of the various articles and comments that have addressed her weight and saying that she's caving to pressure to be thin. But instead, she insists that keeping weight on is a struggle for her, both because of stress and the fact that she's just getting older. She says that it's just the way that her genes have decided to go, and things will change as time goes on. The actress ended her comment by calling the statements completely untrue, and that's why she's defending herself. Number 5. Bella Hadid. Bella Hadid once again found herself on the receiving end of criticism from those who believe the model looks too thin. The negative comments came flooding in shortly after Love magazine posted a video on Instagram of Bella wearing a variety of revealing one-piece bathing suits that show off her frame and prominent hip bones. In the clip, the then 22-year-old model spoke about body image. Quote, "Growing up, I definitely was not the most confident person. I kind of was always searching, so I guess when I felt the most beautiful was very recently, in the past 2 years when my health was at its best." But the internet was way too quick to disagree with her, with one user even commenting that she was talking about self-acceptance as she's withering away to bones, and going on to blame the modeling industry, calling it barbaric and disgusting with its beauty standards. Another user wrote that the video represented an extremely unhealthy message to impressionable young girls, and basically blames Bella for looking the way she did in that swimsuit. After the backlash, the model later posted a photo on Instagram with a caption to slam those who made assumptions about her weight, saying that all body types are different and react differently to a great workout routine and a healthy diet. Number 4. Zendaya. In 2016, Zendaya and feminist comedian Julie Klausner got into something of a Twitter feud when she skinny shamed the Euphoria star for her appearance at the Kids' Choice Awards. In less than 140 characters, Julie managed to both skinny shame Zendaya and belittle the experiences of eating survivors. She tweeted, quote, "Zendaya's ultimate retort to Giuliana Rancic is starving herself down to the size of one of her elbows." If you're a little confused by that, the comedian was basically saying that Zendaya responds to Giuliana's criticism of her natural hair last year by losing weight. I mean, the tweet didn't really make a whole lot of sense, but she was probably just being nasty as a poor attempt at comedy or something. Add to the fact that she is supposedly a feminist, and it just comes off as really sad. She was trying to bring down another woman because of her size, and she probably thought that she could get away with it because it wasn't technically fat shaming. But just like the queen she is, Zendaya responded by educating Julie on why body shaming isn't a joke. Quote, "Do you find this funny? I will write another paragraph to educate you as well. Now everyone, go look in the mirror at their beautiful body and love that." Number 3. Bethany Frankel. The star of Real Housewives of New York and the founder of Skinny Girl Products, Bethany Frankel is among those who have been very harshly judged on the internet for being way too thin. Although she has received a huge amount of negative comments regarding her weight, she doesn't seem too stressed about it and instead saw it as an opportunity to talk about body shaming as a whole, responding to the criticism in a really thoughtful way. In an interview with the podcast Fortune Unfiltered, she said, quote, "I think being thin is a very, very polarizing thing. I think people get mad at you for it, or it makes themselves feel better if they can say, well, she doesn't eat. and she works out every day, neither of which are true. Hitting back at the rumors that she diets like crazy or deliberately starves herself, she told listeners that she in fact does eat, and insisted that she stays away from fat-free foods and instead just sticks to smaller portions of the food that she loves. Frankel said that she's also adamantly against weight loss programs. Quote, "The word diet has the word die in it, and it's a multi-billion-dollar business because diets do not work." Number 2, Leann Rimes. After Dean Chalamet and Leann Rimes divorced, many people became focused on the singer's weight. After taking to Twitter to share a photo of herself in a bikini in 2011, Rimes was hit with a barrage of comments calling her scary skinny. One user even tweeted, quote, "Sorry, don't mean to offend, but that's a lot of bones showing through skin." But people often fail to see the irony of not meaning to offend someone and then commenting on such a personal matter for them like their body weight. Rimes hit back saying that those bones were actually just her abs, and shutting down the unnecessary hate. Quote, "This is my body and I can promise you I'm a healthy girl. I'm just lean. Thank you for your concern, but no need to be," which is a great way to respond to such a ridiculous critique. Even though fans may have been genuinely worried about the star's weight, she surely didn't appreciate having her body labeled as scary. Often people use health concerns as a way to seem sincere with their comments, but the truth is it can also be a scapegoat for those same people just hoping to use the excuse to shame your body. It's really quite sad, but anyone that was truly concerned or worried about your health wouldn't take the time to insult you first. It's just so unnecessary. Number 1, Victoria Beckham. Victoria Beckham has spoken about the consistent scrutiny over her body throughout her whole career, in particular when she named a specific time when she was weighed during a TV show in the 90s. Yes, you heard that right. She told Vogue Australia, quote, "I went on a TV show with Chris Evans many years ago, and I just had Brooklyn, and I lost a ton of weight after. It happened to my mom after her pregnancy. It doesn't mean you have an eating disorder. And he made me stand on the scales to be weighed. Can you imagine doing that nowadays?" It's true that there's just no way something like that would happen today, but it must have been very traumatic for her at the time considering the fact that she had just had a baby. And when talking about the constant comments about her body type, she said, quote, "I've had Porky Posh Spice on a headline, I've had Skeletal Posh. After I had Brooklyn, there was a picture on the front page of a newspaper pointing to every single part of my body where I had to focus on losing the weight from." Undoubtedly, Victoria's experience of body shaming was unacceptable, and things have certainly moved on in some ways since those days. Victoria even admits that nowadays there would have been an outcry if someone was asked to weigh themselves live on TV. But that's not to say that body shaming still doesn't occur on the regular. And she's absolutely right, because Victoria's experiences with skinny shaming represent all the pressure that women face in society to be the ideal weight. Thank you so much for watching. That's all we have for today. Be sure to like and subscribe.